이쪽으로.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله على خالق الأخلاق الذي خلق كل شيء وقدره تقديرا. هو الذي خلق الإنسان من سلالة من طين وخلق الجن من مارج من نار. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. الله هو الأول فلا شيء قبله، وهو الظاهر فلا شيء فوقه، وهو الباطن فلا شيء دونه، وهو الآخر فلا شيء بعده. هو الحي يحيي كل حي، حي يميت كل حي، حي يبعث كل ميت، حي الذي لا يموت أبدا. كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام. يا عباد الله، توكلوا على الحي الذي لا يموت، وهو أحد صمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. ليس كمثله شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء، وهو السميع العليم. وأشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد إمام الصابرين والمتقين عبده ورسوله أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على دين كله ولو كره الكافرون أو ولو كره المشركون. والصلاة والسلام على هذا النبي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن سلك مسلكهم ومن دعا بدعوته ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن: يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. أياما معدودات، فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر. وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين. من تطوع خيرا فهو خير له، وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه، ومن كان مريضا او على سفر فعدة من ايام اخر. يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر، ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. شهر رمضان الذي انزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. ومن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه. I testify to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I seek refuge in Allah against shaitan the occult, and I wish to start this sermon in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. Allah is one without equal. Allah is one without counterpart. Allah is one without beginning. Allah is one without any point of termination. He is unique in His essence, He is unique in His attributes, He is unique in His deeds. There is none that is comparable to Him. He has no beginning, and as such, there is no end of termination to the existence of testify to the messengership of Maulana Mustafa Muhammad, the last of all, the prophet and messenger of Allah sent to mankind. He was not only sent to mankind, but to the community of mankind and jinn. This prophet delivered the message of Allah to this group of people without mixing words, without considering whether it favors or not. In the days of adversity and in plenty, he never leave any message or delivered to this group of people. May the benedictions and salutations of Allah continue to shower upon the noble soul of Maulana Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the one who lived life for us to enjoy and to understand the message of Islam. May the peace and benedictions of Allah be extended to his household, his companions, and the rest of Muslims, those who have resolved that they do not tread any other path other than the path of Islam. May we be included among this group of the people. They have stood out, counting 1, 2, 3. Averagely, we are on the 8th day of Ramadan. About a quarter of Ramadan has gone. We have to assess ourselves. Ramadan is coming. It's coming with a lot of things: forgiveness, Rahman, admittance to paradise, Shaitan being chained down. How much of these have we been benefited of in the last 7 or 8 days? We should ask ourselves. Acceptance of fasting is not only predicated on keeping away from food, water, sexual intercourse within the hours of fasting. We are fortunate in this part of the world at this fasting period. We are only fasting for about 14 hours. About 14 hours. Maybe between 5 and 7, 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. We have the understanding that in some other parts of the world, they are fasting for about 18 hours. And they still have to fast. They still have to fast. Because what Allah wants from us is obedience. Do it and it must be done. Those who are in some of our brothers and sisters in London, we have the understanding that they have to start, the fire is about 3 a.m. and the sun will not set until about 9 p.m. Therefore, they will have to fast like you are fasting. كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Are you not grumbling that it's too harsh? The weather is too sunny. You consider those who are in another part of the world that this period they will be experiencing about 40-42 degrees Celsius of temperature. That is not scorching. We thank Allah for the weather has granted us. May Allah accept the fasting from us. But let us assess ourselves, our fasting in the last 7 or 8 days, for us to be able to see how we are going to move in the next days of Ramadan. We want to examine Surah Al-Mu'minun. We are last said, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ إِلَّا عَلَى أَزْوَاجِهِمْ أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ وَمَنِ ابْتَغَىٰ وَرَاءَ ذَٰلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْعَادُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاعُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَىٰ صَلَوَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْوَارِثُونَ الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْفِرْدَوْسَ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. صدق الله العظيم. In these verses of the glorious Quran, 6 categories of people are identified, and Allah qualified them by a name that is not general. It's not general. It's not Ya Ayyuhan Nas. It's not Ya Bani Israel. It's not Ya Bani Adam. Ya Ayyuhan Ladina Amanu. The same word which Allah, or phrase which Allah used to introduce fasting to us was the same word He used. Ya Ayyuhan Ladina Amanu. That is to say, these attributes we are to discuss does not concern anybody who do not belong to this group of people. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, alladhina amanu, amanu billahi wa rasulihi wal kitabi wal yawmil akhir. All these articles of faith, those who have that faith in Him, Allah addresses them. Qad aflaha al-mu'minun. Indeed, believers have triumphed. Indeed, believers have profited. Qad aflaha al-mu'minun is a concluded issue that whoever finds his name among the registered list of those who have faith in Allah, they are indeed successful. They are indeed profitable in their ventures, in their faith. But they are not just, it's not just a name that you just register your name there. There must be criteria, there are prerequisites, there are conditions for which one can find his name there. The same way that we are fasting, and fasting is not just for anybody. The reward for fasting is only for those who have faith. The same way Allah described those who have the fasting, they are the people who are successful. They are the people that will reap the reward of fasting. The end of the first verse introducing Ramadan to us, what Allah told us was لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Perchance you attain piety, perchance you will learn how to be God conscious, perchance you will learn how to be more obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, this verse was examined, because if you have to be more pious to Allah, there are principles and practices of Islam which are structured practices, pillars of Islam that must be carried out by us. Therefore, somebody who is fasting, we want to examine how does he observe the salat. If he only observes salat to Subi and salat to Isha in Juma'at before Ramadan, now you are in Ramadan, how do you observe your salat? Are you increased from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4, or observing all the Friday prayers in congregation? Okay, if you are observing it in congregation, what is the state of your mind while observing it? How do you feel about others around you while you are observing them? الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Those when they are in salat, they humble themselves. They are not just there absent-minded. They are conscious that they are before Allah. Fasting should be able to draw us in observing our salat more regularly, not only regularly, but with due attention that it requires. Therefore, if we have added that to that, then we are having one point among those who are getting closer to Al-Muttaqin, those who are pious about their Lord. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. And those who shun vain thoughts, who avoid unuseful discussions, who move away from those discussions that do not benefit not only but others, destructive discussions, they move away from it. Maulana Mustafa said, it is very important that we see that we must imbibe this culture of safeguarding what we hear and what we see. He said, and Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من لم يدع قول الزور ولا عمل به وليس لله حاجة The Prophet of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was trying to have said, whoever do not find it convenient, who do not consider it a mandatory instruction to move away from unresolved, abominable speech, hearing of statements, while Amali, or he does not move away from working with this kind of falsehoods, things that can destroy not only the person you are talking about, but even destroy the society. He does not find he works by it. He will not only say it, but he works by it. He said, Allah has nothing to do with that person living food and living drinks. That is, Allah has nothing to do with that. Allah will not reward such fasting. Therefore, we ask ourselves, how, where do we place these attributes of a fasting person? That when you are fasting, it's not only your stomach that must be fasting, it's not only your thigh that must be fasting, even your mouth must also be fasting in terms of speech, in terms of sound that you utter. Allah told us that He will ask us concerning what we say, what we whisper in our heart, and what we listen to. All of these, Allah will ask us concerning them. In this verse, if you have been able to observe your salat as it ought to be observed, you have been able to move away from vain thoughts. You are not discussing, backbiting, slandering others, and you are not pulling another person down in the process. Okay, you have moved away from two things. Then, what is the next thing? That does not qualify you to be a successful believer who is fasting in the month of Ramadan. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ. This is the month when those who have essence, some have the ability of stockpiling a month's resources to sustain him and the family. But in the morning, you are not taking the breakfast because Sahara is not the best of breakfast. Your lunch is not there. You are not taking dinner because in town we cannot be influenced to. So if you are seriously hungry, when you take food, you are not feeling it. In fact, you will be sweating at that instance. Therefore, this meal we are not taking is never equivalent to breakfast nor dinner. Therefore, somebody who has something and you abandon it, then you have the sense of those who are not having. How do you feel about them? Some people, they do not have the 3 square meal. They cannot boast of what they will take in a day. When the day is appearing, the dawn is appearing, they cannot say they will get what to eat as their breakfast, their lunch, or dinner. Some can only say 101. Can only take in the morning and in the evening. You will have forgotten about the afternoon. He is not taking it. Now you have. How do you feel about others? How do you feel? It's a month when you must show love to others. Do zakat. Sadaqah is also a month of zakat. Because whatever is done in the month of Ramadan is the most rewarding aspect of it. Therefore, if you have access to pay zakat, you have up to desire, pay it in the month of Ramadan, and you will have the reward of doing it better than when you do it in another month. But if you cannot qualify for zakat, every one of us is qualified for sadaqah. And the best zakat we do is that sadaqah that is done in the month of Ramadan. Therefore, remember, your family home, you are there, somebody else can be there, your family members are there. Some doesn't have what to eat. Remember them. Don't finish all the things of meal. You have a carton on in your store. Consider others who cannot afford one. Some you don't have to give milk. If you give him milk, it's like poison to him. What he needs is garlic, is rice, is beans, is money. Whatever will suit somebody best, consider doing it in the month of Ramadan. If you do it, then you will not be qualified to be one of those that Allah described as those who are successful. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. The successful indeed are the believers. They are successful because these attributes we are mentioning, they are known for that. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ. The adulterers, the fornicators, you know, even if you move around after a time, the joints are dry. Joints where people relax. They relax not with the words of Allah, but they relax with missing the essence of what Allah has taken us for. Obedience to Allah. Those who will break their day, they are fasting with alcohol. They are no longer there. The joints are dry. Yes, if it's dry now, let it remain dry. Somebody was in my office here was saying that those who even sell food for them that are not fasting, they are not getting things to even buy now. Now she was saying that we go to this woman and go and order that is it only the fasting people he is preparing for. That is what is even halal is cast to even get now because it is time people are conscious of this. God Abdussalam, successful indeed are believers who are conscious of what to do during the month of Ramadan. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Goodness of Allah, let us seek forgiveness from Allah. He is ever able to forgive and forget. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Malik Yawmiddin Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallam. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu. In this second part of the khutbah, we want to emphasize also some of those things that are virtues that we must engage in, that will strengthen our good work, that we're spending our reward in the month of Ramadan. Some of these have been repeated several times. Because when Allah says, the piety we are talking about will be attained through two means. One, running away from vices and doing the virtues. Vices are things that we have mentioned in the first part of the program that you do not engage in vain thoughts, do not destroy others, do not only keep away from fasting, be conscious of your salah. Some of the virtues which we have also mentioned include as sadaqah. Maulana Abdussalam said, Afdal sadaqah, sadaqah fi Ramadan. That the best sadaqah that one can do is the one that is done in Ramadan. And it should not be an exchange that because he has sent me 3 things of milk, I must return 6 things of milk and 1 packet of sugar. Let it go to those who deserve giving. Maulana also told us, Man fattara sa'iman falahu ajrun min ghairi an yanqud min ajri sa'im shay'an. Whoever provides sustenance for breaking fast for somebody, or he provides what he takes for sahur, and the person now says, Allah will reward him an equivalent reward of a fasting, and that will not reduce anything from the fasting of the one that will have given the food or the drink or even the food to break his fast. And it should not be a situation that I want to take my reward. Why should he give me order to break my fast? No, nothing is diminished in your reward. If you take what your brother gives you to break your fast, he will have additional reward and you also have your own reward. Muhammad also encouraged us that Shahr Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. The month in which the Quran was revealed is the month of Ramadan. Therefore, part of the virtues should be moving nearer to Al-Quran. Moving nearer to Al-Quran is moving nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah is He that we cannot see with your naked eyes, but He has demonstrated amongst us Al-Quran, which is entirely the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no words of any other being rather than the word of Allah. Therefore, reading it over and over is like doing a back view of Al-Quran. Therefore, we must move nearer to Al-Quran, reading it, going to tafsir, pondering over Al-Quran. All these are virtues that are expected of us. Qiyamul Layl is also very important. Apart from our Tarawih, let us also find more time. Let us get up more time of the night doing Qiyamul Layl. The Prophet was said, Man qama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban ghufira Allahu ma taqaddama min dhanbihi. Whoever finds time out of tiredness, is healed, take the pain to rise in the night and observe some nawafil. He said, Allah will have this full reward for him. Allah will forgive all his past sins. Allah will forgive him. And forgiving him means that he will enter paradise. We want to remember at this junction that particularly the Muslim community, I was wondering of recent events that we do not have to mention, announce that we know about our community. And I remember there was a time in this community that to say salam to another Muslim brother or sister is a very difficult thing. Why? Because we were minute in number. Those who were there, they were weak in strength. The number that were there, if they are to talk, they are not to be heard at that time. And Allah not changed the situation, and we are having what the situation we have today. And now we got the verse of Al-Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wasbur is antum qalilun mustad'afina fil ard. Ya fatihna alayna ismaka mahmatan wa ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا ولا تحملنا على القوم الكافرين. Inshallah, just after the prayer, one surah al-Fatiha will be due for our new Vice Chancellor to elect, who will be taking over from the current one. He is Professor G. Ambali. We pray and do just one Fatiha for him for Allah's guidance. We will also do for the current administration. What remains is more. What remains is more. We will pray for successful conclusion of this period of hours. Let us be patient. We will not take much time. Allah will accept our act of ibadah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala.